yes, we're putting together the next book, Best on Everyone. And so those people that want to be part of the next book, it's going to be titled Walking with Rebazar. It's you can get your picture if you're holding one of the books in the book. And so you'll be famous. We're making history here. So that's the next book. Even I've made several. The latest two is Rebazar and then Rebazar Duva. And then we're going to do this one. Many of the pictures that Kelsey's taken and others. Well, you don't have any hospital jokes? I've got one here. Did you hear this one? What did one hospital bed say to the other?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
You don't? You have no idea?
Well, I don't know if I should say, shall we lie together? Do we lie together?
You can't even guess? Okay.
No,
you don't have a guess? What one hospital bed say to the other?
What?
I'm so glad I'm here. I need a rest.
Oh, that's very cute.
I just made that up. I just thought maybe you'd know a hospital joke, okay?
Well, I think you're doing superbly. You're great. I'm not very good at sometimes at ad lib, but I'm learning.
I don't know. I just take a chance and see what happens. So, yeah, sometimes I'm booed out of the building too. So, you just got to take the risk. Yeah.
Okay, I've got one for you.
Okay.
What did one wall say to the other?
What's what?
What did one wall say to the other?
Hold on, I'll be right back.
That's pretty good. or you could say, I'll meet you at the corner.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I would have thought I'll meet you at the door or the window, but the corner is good.
Yeah. That's pretty cute, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you want to bring the ceiling into it too, because there might be something up there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, what did one candle say to another?
Light off.
You want to go out tonight?
Oh, that doesn't sound good. What? Put out my light?
Yeah.
I don't just put out for anybody. Okay.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, let me start by sharing something, a dream experience from one of our new friends in Congo. Yeah, if you have been here, you've not been here before, but there is a statement that Duane always makes on this Skype. On the surface, it seems like just to be words thrown around.
Okay.
And yes, so I'm going to share Papi Kule's real side experience, which will help to corroborate this statement often made by Duane during the Skype. So, Papi Kule says he was in the company of some friends he didn't recognize in a real and natural setting. And then he decided to look up the sky. Then he saw this brilliant white light, which caused him to put down his head. And he squinted. He asked his friends if they could see the wonderful, dazzling light, but they said they couldn't. He wondered whether they could have been blind, but they were not seeing this light. Then he looked up again, and the blinding light, which this time, when he looked up the second time, this blinding light emitted several colors. It was a kaleidoscope of colors, just changing and changing and changing. Then, at the center of this sun-like light, he saw a book. And he became curious to know how the book cover looked like. Then when he looked closely, he saw that the cover had some beautiful flowers. And at the center of it were inscribed the words, "It is nigh." Okay, Papi Kule says he doesn't understand English, so he just memorized the title. So, and then he shared this experience in the Francophone group. So when I saw the dream share, I immediately understood what it was about. Just because I'd been attending the Skypes, and I often heard Duane say this. So I tried to interpret the dream for them, and then everyone understood what it meant. So we haven't much time to be fooling around here. Instead of taking the new presentation seriously. So can Duane comment some more on this?
Charles, okay, so I didn't quite get the word.
Yeah.
What was that again that it said on the book? Go ahead.
The book on the title says, "It is nigh," Neigh. Yeah, translated, if you change, "It is nigh" means it's very near, very close. That is what it should mean. It is nigh. So it's in other words, it means it's very near, very close. It's not far away. So I try to give them this interpretation based on what you always say, that we don't have much time here. In fact, before we know it, everything will be over. So it's better people have a purpose, a focus, and all the like.
Yeah, I've actually, I use the simplest words I can. Sometimes I use particular words. It just depends. But nigh, I've never used that word. And so actually, I may have heard it, but I've never used that word in any of the writings, so I wasn't sure. But now that you're explaining it, there's several ways to see it. And yes, just like I'll back up to one individual in Miriam's group, where the person, one of her people there in the group, had an experience where on the real side she gave them a watch. And so, and the idea is to watch time because you only have so much time. And this is very, very real. And it's understandable that, it is a little bit, it's very difficult actually to really catch on to this. It's very simple, but at the same time, so when you're saying it is nigh, there's many interpretations of that, and all of them are valid. So yes, there's only so much time, and it is nigh, which means what you're saying is it is close. Well, it is right here. Okay, it is now, it is. So the first two words that are used, it is, you see. And so if you want to break this down a little bit, but again, yeah, for those that step up and can at least see something, it's just like taking a course in college. You want to become involved if you want to, learn what's going on and get your degree. And the same is with this. Many times people just, from cute sayings or reading books of wisdom or whatever, thinking in their minds that all of a sudden they're just going to, it's like, I get it. No, it's a lot more than that. It's a real position to completely stand in, to where you might say the personal self is seen, but is in a way is not adhered to anymore, because again, now you have a full awareness and you see the real purpose of the whole of life. So again, from lifetime to lifetime, there really is only so much time, and then time is up, because what it's really saying is that your attention is usually going to go somewhere else. Your attention is usually going to be led around by your personal self. And so again, no, that's a cool experience. Who was that? Do you have a name, or was it with Marion's group, or who was that, Charles?
Yeah, Kule Papi Ekoka. That's his name. Kule Papi Ekoka.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I immediately remembered your comments during the Skype, and I said, this is it. And it's after I gave this interpretation that everyone understood what it meant, and then people were congratulating him for the dream, for the breakthrough, and they were going to take things seriously and all the like. And I think this again underscores the importance of attending the Skypes. That like we're struggling to do. So it's a very good experience. It's a warning. It's a wake up call for everyone. I think so.
Yeah, the idea here real fast is that, as we go through life is really all about survival. It's not about coming to the earth and creating a business and working 9 to 5. These are the things we do here while we're here, but at the same time, excuse me, it's about waking up and seeing what's really taking place. So, and if we don't, we don't. That's just it. Kind of the idea is that has been set into motion because we are in human farming, and people have been marketed heavily so many particular ways that the idea is just like Jesus returning to fix everything and to save people, which there's no such thing as. Many times people figure things are just going to fall out of the sky. It's like, I have this idea and I'd like it to be like this and this. And, it'll just happen. It'll fall out of the sky. The government or God or the real guides, they'll just do it, and it'll all be taken care of. Well, it really doesn't happen like that, just like in our personal lives, just like what we do here. Whatever we do, we do. And whatever we don't do, that's it. It doesn't get done. It doesn't entail our lives. So everything that you do, that becomes your reality. Everything that you see and recognize, that becomes your reality. And so it's the doing part that's very, very interesting. So just a hint on the galactic level right now that most people cannot see, there is a whole lot taking place to ensure a little bit more time here because of all the choices that have been made through eons to this very moment, so that many others have a chance to wake up also. So yes, there is only so much time. And for most people, they're not interested. They just see the surface life here and what they're doing personally. This, again, will all vanish as it has before, and you'll start over again. So, again, this opportunity right now, as each person decides, I take advantage of it. I'm very grateful, and that is that it's more than what you've ever known before. I will constantly say that. It will always be more than you've ever known before, and to recognize it. And it comes through the doing, the actual doing of something. And so, again, that's why we're doing whatever. And certain people recognize it. We're trying to give the hint to everybody. And through that process, you will begin to recognize it even more. So it's more than just reading the books, doing the New You sessions. That's a start. There's a lot more to it. So anyhow, go ahead, Charles. Go ahead. Thank you.
Many people talk about reality and living in reality. To my understanding, there is a secular to my mind, there's a secular understanding of reality, and there is also a non-secular understanding of it. So, can you throw some light on this, on what reality really is?
It's rather humorous in its own way because we're all in life. This is real. Okay, we'll use that idea. We're all right here and now. We're in life, and we can say, well, gee, this is real. That's Maya. That's fantasy. That's your imagination. All these ideas that we create. We created these ideas. And they're all really the same thing. There's no difference between what we call reality here. Okay, we'll just say it's reality. In other words, what we're basically referring to is the physical solidness of things. The body, the street, the cars, the buildings. Okay, we call this reality. Well, your imagination, your mind, and whatever they can consider, because it all came from that, is all the same thing. There is no separation. But for the literal mind, because we have the 5 bodies, it's easier to, create certain categories as reference. Okay, so this is where I, show like Paul did, he did it in a particular way, show the psychic realms where the 5 bodies are and the real universes so that there can be a comparison and a difference. But actually, it's all the same thing, and it's a recognition. And so, but it's more so than just reading the book and like book 2, going through the different levels that are explained and then thinking that, oh, okay, well, I know this already. Well, in a way you do, but actually the recognition of it and to prompt you to get to stand real in that position and recognize what the real guides are doing according to the true reality, that's huge. And so backing up here a bit, everything is real. There is nothing that isn't, because we're all in life, and whatever we decide, if it's think, feel, eat, sleep, whatever, it's all real. And each person decides a reality, and each person decides to explore more than they've ever known. That's up to each person. And as they do, the unknown will become known. But most people just continually circulate in their routines with what they've always known, and that's it. And so I'm not saying go out there and go through all the psychic sciences and the galactic people and the Palladians and all this stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm discovering this and whatever. That's all creation. What I'm talking about is the real universes, because everything is it. Yes, everything is it. And that's the biggie. And it's endless. And it's not to where it's going to be resolved just in your mind. So, again, everything is real. You decide your reality. You decide to take the risk to the unknown, or you don't. And keep in mind, again, that more is unseen and unknown than you will ever know. That's real. And so, again, as I brought out the new presentation, I explored how to provide this through my own experiences, through my real awareness and the real universes with the is and the guides, how to bring this into this physical so-called reality.